Your soulmate is arriving. Marriage will happen instantly, beloved child of God. Let me ask you a question that pierces deeper than the noise of this world. Have you been sensing lately that something is shifting in the atmosphere of your life? Have you noticed how your spirit feels restless at night, as though heaven itself is whispering that a change is on the horizon? If your heart has been feeling the weight of divine expectancy, this may be your moment of confirmation. This is not by accident. You are hearing these words because God has appointed a time for your love story to unfold. I welcome you with warmth and peace to Angel Code Message, a sacred space where heaven's whispers meet your earthly journey. If you are new here, know that you are not here by coincidence. The Spirit has guided you. To my faithful family who return again and again, I embrace you with gratitude. Together, we walk in faith, seeking God's divine timing. Beloved, before we dive deeper, I invite you to pause and type in the comments, "I believe." Let this be your declaration of faith, a seed planted in the soil of your destiny. Now lean in closely. Hear this as though the Father himself is speaking into your heart. God says, "The time of waiting, the long years of silence, the hidden tears you cried in secret, all of it was not wasted. I was preparing you. I was molding you. I was aligning heaven and earth so that when your soulmate arrives, nothing and no one can separate what I have joined together." Yes, the one you have prayed for is not far. In fact, their spirit has been awakened to you. They have felt the pull, the longing, the inner voice that whispers of someone they have yet to meet. You are not chasing after them. No, beloved, I am sending them to you. For as it is written in Genesis 2:18, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." This was not just Adam's story, it is yours. The Spirit reveals that your soulmate is younger than you might expect, but do not let age be a stumbling block. For Ecclesiastes 3:11 declares, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." God's timing does not bow to human logic. What matters is the purity of their heart, the wealth of their spirit, and yes, the material abundance I have entrusted them with. For this person is not only emotionally rich, but also financially blessed. They carry prosperity not as pride, but as stewardship. They are generous, kind, and filled with a desire to build a future with you that honors God. Take a moment and let that truth settle in your spirit. Could it be that the hesitation you once felt about whether love was truly meant for you is being washed away by this promise? Beloved, this is not just love, it is destiny. God says, "I delayed this connection because I needed to heal what was broken in you. I needed to remove the fear of rejection, the shame of past betrayals, and the silent grief you carried from seasons where love seemed to fail you. I could not allow this holy union to be tainted by unhealed wounds. That is why I held back the one I had chosen for you until now. But now here, this clearly the season of delay is finished." Isaiah 43:19 resounds with your reality. "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. The wilderness of loneliness is ending. The streams of companionship are beginning. Where once your nights were filled with silence, soon they will echo with laughter, prayer, and shared dreams. And when it happens, it will not take years. The Spirit is clear. This marriage will not be long delayed after you meet. The connection will be instant, the bond undeniable, and the union unstoppable. For Proverbs 18:22 says, "He who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord." That favor is descending over you like rain, soaking every dry place in your soul. Do not fear the whispers of doubt. Do not let thoughts of age, status, or appearance cloud your faith. For God does not measure love by human standards. He sees hearts. He unites spirits. He binds futures for purposes far greater than what eyes can see. This love will not just be about companionship. It will be about mission. Together, you will rise as a testimony of God's goodness. Together, you will restore what the enemy tried to break. Together, you will impact generations with a legacy of faith, prosperity, and love. Take a deep breath and imagine this. Waking up one morning to the sound of God nudging your spirit, telling you to step into a place you normally would not go. Perhaps a cafe, perhaps a morning walk, perhaps an unexpected gathering. And their eyes will meet, hearts will recognize, and heaven will whisper, "This is the one." It will feel surreal, but your spirit will know it is real. Child of God, let gratitude rise even before manifestation. Thank God in advance for what He is already releasing. For Psalm 37:4 assures you, delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Gratitude unlocks manifestation. Thanksgiving prepares the ground for miracles. Do not fear spiritual opposition. Yes, the enemy may try to delay, confuse, or discourage, but God's word stands unshaken. What He has spoken over your life cannot be reversed. No curse, no scheme, no delay can stand against the authority of heaven. This is why you must clothe yourself in faith and worship. For as you worship, walls fall. As you pray, chains break. As you believe, miracles manifest. And when this union takes place, understand this: it is not just for your joy but for God's glory. Your love story will be a beacon of light to others. It will remind the brokenhearted that God still restores, that heaven still writes love stories, that marriage is still holy, and that divine timing is always perfect. Let this word dwell richly in your spirit. Take a moment and whisper to yourself, could this be the very thing I have been sensing? Could this be the confirmation my heart has cried out for? Do not push it away in fear, receive it in faith, beloved. If this message has touched your spirit, affirm it in the comments right now by declaring, "Blessed and ready." This is your way of agreeing with heaven, of partnering with God's promise. Beloved, let your heart be still for a moment and listen carefully, because what I am about to share will bring even deeper clarity. God says, your soulmate is already moving toward you. Their steps are guided, their heart is stirred, and their spirit is restless until they are aligned with yours. The season of searching and wondering is over. The season of finding and recognizing is here. You will notice certain signs as this divine connection begins to manifest. It may begin subtly, almost like whispers of destiny brushing across your everyday life. Suddenly, you might find yourself drawn to a place you don't normally go, yet you feel peace when you are there. You may begin dreaming of someone, not a face you can fully see, but a presence you can fully feel. Or perhaps conversations around love and marriage will begin to surround you in unexpected ways, as if heaven itself is confirming that your time has come. God says, pay attention to divine coincidences, for they are not coincidences at all, they are alignments. When you meet this person, your spirit will leap inside of you, just as Elizabeth's did when Mary entered her home carrying the promise of the Messiah. There will be a spiritual recognition that words cannot explain, and you may wonder, why now? Why, after all this time? The Spirit answers, because both of you needed preparation. Just as gold must be refined in fire, both of your hearts have walked through refining seasons. They have battled insecurities, fears, and pressures of status or expectation. You have wrestled with loneliness, questions, and heartbreak. Yet through it all, God was shaping you into vessels ready to carry this love. Beloved, this person has been prepared in the hidden place. They have learned to value humility over pride, faithfulness over fame, purpose over possessions. Though they are wealthy in earthly resources, they are even richer in spiritual depth. Their abundance is not a tool for control, it is a tool for blessing. They have prayed, they have waited, and they have guarded their heart with patience. Even when others around them seemed to find love easily, they were not overlooked. They were preserved for you. Take a deep breath and let that settle in your spirit. Could it be that all the years of feeling forgotten were actually years of being protected? God was hiding you from counterfeits, distractions, and people who were never meant to carry your heart. That is why rejection hurts so deeply. It was divine redirection. Remember Romans 8:28, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. What once felt like loss was really preservation. And beloved, know this: the concerns that once clouded your mind, whether about your age, your background, your appearance, or your financial status, none of these matter in God's plan. For the Lord does not look at outward appearances. He looks at the heart. Your soulmate has been fashioned to see your worth through heaven's eyes, not man's standards. Their love for you will not be shallow. It will be deep, enduring, and anchored. In divine assignment, God says, "Do not be afraid of opposition, for I have already placed a hedge of protection around this union." The enemy has fought you so hard in past relationships because he knew this connection would birth generational blessings. But his schemes will not prosper, for no weapon formed against you shall succeed. Isaiah 54, banding 17. This marriage will be marked by supernatural protection. Beloved, you may feel a stirring even now, as though heaven is lifting the veil from your eyes. That is because your spirit is already aligning with theirs. Soon, the physical meeting will catch up with the spiritual union that has already taken place. And when it happens, it will move quickly. No hesitation, no endless delays. The Spirit makes it clear, this marriage will happen instantly because the foundations have already been laid in prayer, in patience, and in preparation. Picture this. With me, you step into a morning filled with ordinary tasks, but something feels different in the air. The sun seems brighter, the atmosphere feels charged, and in that moment, you encounter them. A conversation begins, a connection sparks, and suddenly, everything shifts. It will feel as though time itself pauses, and you will know this is the one. Genesis 24 tells us the story of how Rebekah was chosen for Isaac. It was not through striving or chasing. It was through divine orchestration. She simply went to draw water, and there her destiny awaited her. In the same way, you will not have to chase your soulmate. You will simply walk into the place God directs, and destiny will meet you there. Take a moment and ask yourself, could this be why my spirit has felt such urgency in recent days? Could this be the reason I have been sensing a holy restlessness, as if something greater is drawing near? Let this confirmation sink into your soul. Beloved, gratitude must become your posture in this season. Begin to thank God now, before you see it fully manifest. Psalm 102:4 declares, Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name. Gratitude is the language of expectation. It tells heaven you are ready. It prepares your heart to receive without fear. This relationship will not just bless you, will bless generations. Your union will be a testimony that love rooted in God is unshakable. Your children, your family, your community will look at you both and see the goodness of the Lord. This is not ordinary love. This is covenant love. This is kingdom purpose. This is destiny alignment. And when doubts rise, return to the Word. Proverbs 18:22 reminds you that marriage is not just companionship, is favor from the Lord. Isaiah 43:19 reminds you that God is doing something new. Ecclesiastes 3:11 assures you that everything is made beautiful in its time. Genesis 2:18 affirms that it is not good for man to be alone. Psalm 37:4 tells you that the desires of your heart are being fulfilled. Each scripture is a stone of faith, building the altar of your confidence. So, beloved, take courage. Your story is unfolding. Your soulmate is arriving. Your marriage will happen swiftly, beautifully, and with heaven's blessing. Trust the process, rest in the promise, and rejoice even now, for the wait is ending, and the fulfillment is beginning. If this message resonates with your spirit, declare in the comments, "Blessed and ready." This is your act of faith, your way of stepping into agreement with what heaven has spoken. And do not walk this journey alone. Stay connected to this community of faith by subscribing to Angel Code Message. Together, we will continue to walk in divine alignment, receiving prophetic confirmations and preparing our hearts for God's promises. Beloved, listen closely, because as you step deeper into this revelation, you will begin to understand how God confirms his promises through signs, discernment, and divine encounters. Many have wondered, how will I know this person is truly the one God has chosen for me? How can I trust my heart after all the disappointment I've endured? And the Spirit answers with assurance, I will not leave you guessing. I will make it clear. I will confirm my word with signs, with peace, and with divine order. God says, the one I am sending into your life will not come with confusion. They will not leave you second-guessing their intentions. They will not play games with your emotions. They will speak with clarity. They will walk with consistency. And they will honor you in a way that reflects my heart. Remember 1 Corinthians 14:33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. The moment you encounter your soulmate, peace will flood your heart. Beloved, pay attention to how your spirit responds. Even if your mind tries to question, your spirit will recognize them. This recognition is not based on attraction alone. It is based on destiny alignment. Just as Jonathan's soul was knit to David's in 1 Samuel 18, your soul will knit with theirs in an instant. There will be a spiritual pull that goes deeper than words. And know this, the enemy will try to counterfeit. He will send distractions that look appealing but lack substance. That is why you must rely on discernment, not just emotion. Pray for God to open your eyes. As Ephesians 1:18 declares, I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened, in order that you may know the hope to which he has called you. When the true one comes, your eyes will be opened and you will know. Beloved, God is arranging divine encounters. Do not underestimate how quickly he can shift your story. Think of Ruth. She went to glean in a field, and there she met Boaz. One day, one encounter, and her entire life changed. She had no idea that obedience to a simple instruction would position her for destiny. In the same way, your obedience to small nudges from the Spirit, whether to step into a new place, to accept an invitation, or to change your routine, may align you for the moment you meet your soulmate. Take a moment and reflect. Have you been feeling prompted to step into new spaces, to break routines, or to meet new people? Could this be the Spirit guiding your steps toward destiny? Let that thought sink in. God says, when you meet, do not be afraid of how quickly things unfold. For what I have ordained does not require endless delays. There is no need for long seasons of uncertainty when both hearts are ready. This is why I have prepared you both separately, so that when you meet, you will recognize instantly, and marriage will follow swiftly. Beloved, your soulmate has also been prepared in prayer. They have cried out for you, even without knowing your name. They have asked God to send them someone who truly understands, who can love beyond appearances, and who will walk in purpose by their side. Their prayers have touched heaven, and God has written your name into their story. And understand this, your connection is not only about your happiness, it is about kingdom purpose. Together, you will serve, you will influence, you will build. This marriage is an assignment. It is a covenant that carries weight in the spiritual realm. That is why the enemy fought so hard to keep you in cycles of heartbreak and loneliness. But now, those cycles are broken. For Isaiah 62:4 declares, never again will you be called the forsaken one. No longer will your land be called desolate, but you will be called Hephzibah, for the Lord delights in you, and your land will be married. This is your portion. Beloved, divine protection surrounds this union. Angels are already positioned to guard your steps and to block attacks. Even now, prayers you prayed years ago are covering your tomorrow. Do not fear what others may say. Do not fear spiritual opposition. For when God ordains a union, no human hand can separate it. What he opens, no man can shut. Revelation 3-7. Take a breath and let this assurance settle deep in your heart. You are not walking into this love story alone. Heaven is backing you. Angels are guiding you. The Spirit is confirming you. And the Father is smiling upon you. Now, let me tell you what you may feel in the days before they arrive. There may be an unusual stirring of joy in your heart, even when nothing external has changed. You may wake up with a sense of anticipation, as though something is about to happen. You may notice signs of restoration in other areas of your life's finances, improving, friendships healing, peace returning. All of these are indicators that your season of love is opening. Psalm 126:1 says, when the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion, we were like those who dreamed. That is how you will feel when your soulmate arrives, if you are living in a dream that suddenly became reality. Every tear, every prayer, every long night will make sense in an instant. Beloved, gratitude is still your key. Thank God daily for this promise. Praise Him for what you do not yet see, because in heaven it is already done. The more you praise, the more you prepare. The more you thank Him, the faster the manifestation. Take this moment now, declare in faith, blessed and ready. Write it not just in the comments, but speak it over yourself every morning. Let it be your affirmation that you are aligned with heaven. And as you walk in faith, stay connected to this prophetic community. Subscribe to Angel Code Message, where divine confirmations are released and your faith is strengthened. This is not just about hearing a message, it is about walking into your destiny with support, prayer, and alignment. Beloved child of God, lean closer now, because the Spirit wants to reveal something tender, something that speaks directly to the deepest corners of your heart. before the joy of this divine marriage manifests, before the laughter fills your home, there are wounds that God is healing even now. Wounds from rejection, heartbreak, abandonment, and disappointment. God says, I saw every tear you cried in secret. I felt the weight of loneliness pressing against your soul. I heard your questions when you asked, Lord, why me? Why do others find love while I remain alone? Beloved, I was not ignoring you. I was protecting you. I allowed the pain not to destroy you, but to prepare you, so that when the right one arrives, you will embrace them not with fear, but with wholeness. Some of you were rejected by people you gave your all to. You poured love, trust, and loyalty into vessels that could not carry it. And when they left, you felt abandoned, as though you were not worthy. But God says that rejection was my redirection. I did not want you tied to someone who could not see your value. I reserved you for a love that mirrors my covenant, faithful, unconditional, eternal. Psalm 34:18 assures you, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Even when others turned away, He drew near. Even when your spirit felt crushed, He lifted you. And now, beloved, He is healing every fracture, restoring every piece of your heart, so that you may step into this union whole and free. Take a moment and breathe that in. Could it be that the pain you thought disqualified you was actually the very preparation that qualifies you? Could it be that the scars you carry are not signs of weakness, but testimonies of survival, proof that you are ready for covenant love? Beloved, your soulmate is also carrying wounds. They too have walked through valleys of disappointment. They too have felt overlooked, misjudged, or loved for shallow reasons. And just as God has been healing you, He has been healing them. When you come together, your union will not be two broken souls clinging for survival, but to whole spirits joining in purpose. Together, you will exchange not just love, but healing. Isaiah 61:3 speaks of this very exchange, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. This is what your marriage will be, a crown of beauty for every ash of rejection, an oil of joy for every tear of sorrow, a garment of praise for every night of despair. Beloved, forgiveness is the key that unlocks this door. Some of you still carry bitterness toward those who hurt you. Some of you replay the betrayals in your mind, wondering why it happened. But hear this, forgive them, for they were never meant to be your forever. Release them, for their chapter in your story has closed. Bless them, for their departure made room for the one I am sending. Ephesians 4:31-32 says, get rid of all bitterness, rage and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you. Beloved, as Christ forgave you, forgive them. Do not let the poison of the past seep into the wine of your future. And as you forgive, you will notice how light your spirit feels. The heaviness will lift. The fear of being hurt again will loosen its grip. And you will find yourself ready, not just emotionally, but spiritually ready to embrace the one God is sending. God says, do not worry about whether you will be enough for them. You are enough, because I created you, shaped you, and molded you for this very connection. Every experience, every lesson, every season has crafted you into the person your soulmate has been praying for. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop doubting your worth, for you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalm 139:14. Beloved, when this marriage begins, it will carry generational blessings. You must understand, this is not just about your joy, it is about your legacy. God is uniting you to break generational curses of divorce, loneliness, or instability. Where past generations struggled, you will thrive. Where cycles of heartbreak repeated, you will establish cycles of love, faith, and abundance. Exodus 22:6 declares, "But showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments." That is the promise over your marriage. Your union will echo beyond your lifetime, blessing children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. It will not be an ordinary story. It will be a testimony that inspires generations yet unborn. Take a moment and ask yourself, could this be why the battle over my love life has been so intense? Could it be because my marriage is destined to shift generations? Beloved, yes. That is why the enemy fought you so hard. But that is also why heaven has protected you so fiercely. This marriage will serve a higher purpose. Together, you and your soulmate will influence lives. You will be a light in your community. You will use your blessings not just for yourselves, but to uplift others, whether through ministry, generosity, or simply by being an example of God's love. Your union will carry purpose far beyond what you can imagine. Beloved, this is why divine timing mattered so much. God could not release this union prematurely, because the weight of your assignment required maturity, healing, and spiritual depth. But now here, the time is ripe. The season is here. The alignment is unfolding. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us, there is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. And your season for covenant love is dawning. So what should you do now? Keep your heart open, stay in gratitude, remain in prayer, forgive freely, and most of all, trust. For the one God has chosen is already on the way, carrying not only love but also healing, restoration, and purpose. Beloved, lift your hands right now in faith and whisper aloud, blessed and ready. Speak it over your life as a prophetic act. Write it in the comments as a declaration to the heavens. Let it be known that you are not only expecting, but preparing. And as you prepare, do not walk this journey alone. Stay connected to this community of faith, where messages of hope, confirmation, and divine alignment continue to flow. Like this video if it has spoken to your heart, and subscribe to Angel Code Message, where God's whispers become clear direction for your destiny. Beloved, allow your heart to open wide, for the Spirit is ready to paint a vivid picture of how your love story will begin. God says, I am the author of divine encounters. I order steps. I open doors that no man can shut. I position people in the right place at the right time so that my plans are fulfilled. The same hand that parted the Red Sea, that raised Lazarus from the grave, that guided Ruth into Boaz's field, that same hand is guiding you toward your appointed moment. You may wake up one morning with a quiet nudge. Go there, do this. It may not make sense at first, but as you obey, destiny will unfold. The Spirit shows me that your first meeting with your soulmate will feel ordinary in the natural, but extraordinary in the spirit. You may be running errands, walking into a cafe, attending an event, or even scrolling through a space online, yet something will shift in that instant. Your eyes will meet, and heaven will whisper, "This is the one, beloved." Angels are already arranging the details. Hebrews 1:14 reminds us, are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation? They are working in the unseen, aligning schedules, shifting circumstances, and protecting you from distractions. Do not be surprised if things suddenly fall through in one area of your life, only to open the door to a new connection. What feels like interruption is often divine intervention, and when you meet, there will be no endless waiting. The clarity will be undeniable. God says, "Do not be afraid of the speed with which this marriage will unfold. For when I ordain a covenant, I also accelerate its timing. What takes others years will happen for you in moments, because I have already laid the foundation in secret. You will feel peace, they will feel peace, and both of you will recognize that you are standing on holy ground." Think of Isaac and Rebekah in Genesis 24. The servant prayed, the sign was given, and Rebekah appeared. Right on time. The decision was swift, the confirmation clear, and the marriage was sealed. So it will be for you. The Spirit says, "I will make it plain. You will not strive. You will not question endlessly. My peace will confirm it. My word will align with it, and my Spirit will breathe upon it." Beloved, this marriage will be marked by joy, not just laughter between two hearts, but joy that flows like a river through your household. You will build together, pray together, and dream together. You will walk in unity that silences the schemes of the enemy. Your home will become a sanctuary where the presence of God dwells richly. Psalm 128:3 declares, "Your wife will be like a fruitful vine within your house. Your children will be like olive shoots round your table." This is the picture of your future, a house filled with abundance, peace, and purpose. But remember, this love is not only for your fulfillment, it carries kingdom weight. Together, you will be called to serve, to give, to inspire. Your story will be a testimony to those who have lost hope, proof that God still writes love stories. Many will look at your union and believe again in the power of covenant. Your marriage will be a living sermon, a light in the darkness, a witness that God's timing is perfect. Beloved, the Spirit also whispers, gratitude must be your daily garment. Even now, thank God as if it has already happened. Worship Him for the spouse He has chosen, for the joy that is coming, for the union that is forming. Philippians 4-6 reminds us, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." Let thanksgiving be your posture, for gratitude draws blessings closer. And as you give thanks, be watchful. God will confirm this union with unmistakable signs. Perhaps it will be through shared dreams, perhaps through repeated numbers, phrases, or scriptures that follow you, perhaps through wise counsel that affirms what your spirit already knows. Do not dismiss these confirmations. They are heaven's fingerprints on your story, beloved. I must remind you, protect your union. Not everyone will understand. Some may doubt, some may envy, some may even speak against it. But guard your love with prayer. Keep your hearts rooted in God. Remember Ecclesiastes 4:12. Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. Invite God to be the 3rd strand in your marriage, and no force can undo it. As this chapter closes, feel the weight of this truth. Your waiting was not in vain. Every silent night, every unanswered prayer, every lonely moment was preparation. You are stepping into a season where loneliness is exchanged for companionship, where tears are exchanged for laughter, where waiting is exchanged for fulfillment. Isaiah 60:22 promises, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen." And beloved, the time is right. take one last reflective pause and whisper to your heart, "This is my confirmation. This is my season. This is my moment." Let faith rise as you declare it aloud. If this word has resonated with your spirit, seal it in faith by declaring in the comments, "Blessed and ready." Speak it as a decree, write it as a testimony, and let heaven see your agreement. And as you walk forward into destiny, remain connected to this sacred family. Like this message if it has stirred your faith, and subscribe to Angel Code Message, where heaven's whispers are spoken into your life with clarity and love. Together, we will continue to walk in divine timing, prophetic insight, and the promises of God fulfilled, beloved. Go forth in confidence. Your soulmate is arriving. Your marriage will happen instantly, and your story will be a living testimony that God makes all things beautiful in His time. Amen.